আমি যেহেতুকে জানো যে যিমান প্ৰেক্টিছ কৰিম সিমানে আমাৰ বাবে ভাল হয় ইয়েছ আমি সায়েন্স এণ্ড টেকৰ এটা নতুন সিৰিজ লৈ আহিছো অসম পৰীক্ষায় আপোনালোকৰ বাবে 30টা মোষ্ট এক্সপেক্টেড সায়েন্স এণ্ড টেকৰ কোৱেশ্চনছ লৈ আহিছে ফ্ৰম দিস টপিক স্পেশালি স্পেস এজেন্সি স্যাটেলাইটস মিশনস এটসেট্রা ওকে আমি টোটালি এতিয়া ডিজিজৰ ওপৰতো আনিম বা মেডিসিন এণ্ড অল এইবিলাকৰ ওপৰতো আনিম ফাৰ্স্ট অফ অল আমি ফোকাস কৰিছো টাৰ্গেট কৰিছো স্পেসৰ ওপৰত Our first class 2 questions kini enukai hobo. Which of the following space agencies correctly matches with their countries? Yete space agency ditho ase eta side aru eta side dia ase countries kini. Ekhini hoise space agency aru ekhini hoise countries kini. ISRO India asane? Yes, it is correct. Option A to correct hoy. After that CNSA China asane? Yes, correct hoy. After that Roscosmos Russia ase correct hoy. Then JAXA Japan ase? Yes, correct hoy. Gutte gida correct hoy. That is option C is the correct answer. Okay. Explanation of moi hundor koi di thoisu ISRO full form to ki hoy. After that CNSA full form ki hoy. ISRO also known as Indian Space Research Organization. Then CNSA jitu niki China space mission bur administer kore okay manage kore China National Space Administration. Then Roscosmos Russia Space Agency hoy and JAXA hoise Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. Etu space agency hoy kar Japan. Okay, then next question to Samaho. Taragote ekhini pictures ditho ase apnaloge connect koribo paribo. Jehetuke ami jiman visualize kori pohu himane amar easily mane amar brainot capture hoy bostubor. After that, second question to hoise which space agency operates the Hubble Space Telescope? Eta Hubble Space Telescope opor ase. Eta Hubble Space Telescope ki hoy to keteba to launch hole ne nai ki so yar por moi duniya ke details kom but etu duta space agency ekelogote mili eta joint project hoy teolukor ekelogote mili etu launch korisile in the year 1990 and NASA aru ESA duta space agency mili 1990 a telescope to launch korise. A telescope to basically hoise detailed images provide kore of like distant galaxies hok ba nebula hok ba planets hok. Okay, so NASA ki korisle NASA it was basically responsible for the development launch and operation of the telescope. Okay, NASA hegida khetrot mane asile involved development purpose of hawk like launch korok operate korok then ESA ki korisile tar solar panels khini disile after that yate thoka jikhini instruments hoy hekhini disile so eta joint project hoy then Gaganyaan mission of India aims to send a satellite to Venus, send humans into space, establish a lunar base, launch a Mars rover. Here a correct answer ki hobo pare Gaganyaan mission basically ki aim kore. Option B that is send humans into space. Humans of space ore pothabo for 3 days. Okay, tate 3 days rakhibo low earth orbit and tar pisot ako back loi hibo. ঠিক আছে তাতে দুনিয়াকৈ মই এক্সপ্লেনেশনত দেখাই দিম বাৰু কেনেকুৱা হ'ব সিস্টেমটো গাগনয়ান মিশন হৈছে ইন্ডিয়াৰ এটা ফাৰ্স্ট হিউম্যান স্পেস ফ্লাইট মিশন হয় যেটো নেকি ইসৰোয়ে মানে চাই আছে আফটাৰ দ্যাট এওঁলোকে কি কৰিব এই ক্ৰিউ মডুলটো পাছত লৈ আহিব বেক টু দ্য এটমস্ফিয়াৰ এণ্ড আৰেবিয়ান সি ৰাহি পৰিবহি ওকে Gaganyaan mission will place astronauts in which orbit? Geostationary orbit, polar orbit, low Earth orbit, medium Earth orbit. Yare correct answer to was low Earth orbit. All of mo koye islu Gaganyaan mission e ki koribo Gaganyatris kini low Earth orbitot place koribo. Tate jikhini jihokol jabo teonukok koa jay Gaganyatris. Okay. Then option C is the correct answer. Explanation at ase the mission aims to place astronauts in low Earth orbit at around 400 km altitude. Okay, yate de sok dunia koi ditho ase picture যাব মই দেখাই দিছো ভালকৈ ওকে ইয়াতে কি কৰিব গগন yatri's খিনি এই ক্ৰু মডুলটোত গৈছে এওঁলোকক ইয়াতে লোৱাৰ অৰবিটত ৰাখিব এণ্ড লোৱাৰ অৰবিট আৰ্থৰ পৰা কিমান ওপৰত আছে around 400 কিলোমিটাৰ ইমানত ৰাখিব ওকে এণ্ড ইয়াতে লোৱাৰ অৰবিটতে কি থাকে লোৱাৰ অৰবিটতে ইণ্ডিয়ান স্পেচ ইন্টাৰনেশ্যনেল স্পেচ ষ্টেচন থাকে আফটাৰ দ্যাট ইয়াতে আছে আমি অলপ আগতে পঢ়ি আহিছিলো হাবল স্পেচ টেলিস্কোপ ওকে এণ্ড বহুতখিনি স্যাটেলাইটস লোৱাৰ অৰবিটতে থাকে এণ্ড এটো কি কৰিব এই ক্ৰু মডুলটো আগতে সাৰ্ভিস মডুলৰ লগত কানেক্টেড থাকিব তাৰ পাছত এই ক্ৰু মডুলটো লাহে লাহে separate হৈ যাব এই সাৰ্ভিস মডুলটোৰ পৰা এণ্ড বেক টু দ্য এটমস্ফিয়াৰ হৈ যাব ওকে ক্ৰু মডুলটো সেপাৰেট হৈ আহি যাব তাৰ পাছত আহি আৰেবিয়ান সিত পৰি যাব এটোৱে হৈছে ইয়াৰ মিশনটো দেন which Indian organization is responsible for the implementation of the Gaganyaan mission Gaganyaan mission implement koribole kuntu Indian organization responsible hoy tetiale ki ho jabo pare ISRO ne DRDO ne HAL ne BARC your correct answer to hoy jabo ISRO is responsible for the implementation of Gaganyaan mission option A is the correct answer ISRO ki hoy Indian Space Research Organization hoy it is responsible for the design development and launch of the Gaganyaan mission thik ase then next question to hoise Aditya L1 mission it is primarily designed to study Aditya L1 mission ki korbo paro etu Aditya L1 mission e options dito ase moon asteroids Mars sun Aditya L1 mission to frame kora goise Sunor corona study koribole okay solar waves study koribole so Aditya L1 basically Sunor upor study koribor karone launch mane etu launch korise etu already launch hoy gol Aditya L1 mission option D is the correct answer Aditya L1 mission eto India's first dedicated solar mission hoy launched by ISRO to study the sun's corona solar wind and solar magnetic storms okay solar wind hog solar magnetic storm hog ekhini sunor upor totally Aditya L1 mission e sabo L1 bili kyo koa goise karon etu L1 Lagrange 1 L1 point ot rakha goise okay and a point to ki hoy jay a point to significance ki hoy a point to significance hoise se gravity to balance thake earth aru sunor jitu mane gravity hoy hetu balance thake okay so yete Aditya L1 mission ot L1 point ote dunia koi rakha goise then next question to Samahok the Aditya L1 spacecraft is positioned at which location kuntu location on Aditya L1 spacecraft position kora hoise ete moi olob agote koi ahislu L1 bli ete mention kora ase that means Lagrange L1 point is the correct answer option C is the correct answer question today answer to humai ase okay then yete kwa was explanation dia ase Aditya L1 it is placed near the sun at Lagrange point L1 about 1.5 million kilometer from earth where the gravitational forces of earth and sun balance so earth aru sun aru jitu gravitational force hoy hetu balance ot thake and this allows continuous observation of the sun without eclipse so sun or direct mane observation thakiboi okay jitu point rakha goise After that, Aditya L1 mission was launched using which launch vehicle? Kuntu launch vehicle use kori Aditya L1 mission launch kora goisile. Yate options dito ase PSLV C57, GSLV Mk2, then LMV3, SSLV. Yare correct answer to hoise PSLV C57. It will correct answer hoy 2nd September 2023 Aditya L1 mission launch hoise PSLV hoise polar satellite launch vehicle okay polar satellite launch vehicle eto use kori mission to launch korise Explanation on D2 ase Aditya L1 spacecraft was launched on 2nd September 2023 using PSLV C57 from the Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota. Tetia hole Satish Dhawan Space Center kot ase? Question jodi ahi jay tetia khoday mon rakhibo Sriharikota. Which Indian organization developed the Aditya L1 mission? Kuntu Indian organization e Aditya L1 mission develop korisle? DRDO, Hall, BARC, ISRO. Yare correct answer to was about ISRO. ISRO e Aditya L1 mission to develop korise. Okay. Then explanation of the Indian Space Research Organization developed and launched the Aditya L1 solar observatory. Solar observatory hoy bahut important hoy. Kuntu point et ase Lagrange L1 point et ase. Okay, L1 point jitu niki earthor pra 1.5 million kilometer durottot ase. And yar pra jitu point et ase hoday sun face kori thakibo paribo. Okay. The space agency NASA belongs to which country? Russia, United States of America, France, Japan. Yare correct answer to NASA kotha koise. Okay, space agency NASA kunkon country belong kore? United States of America, USA belong kore. NASA option B is the correct answer. Space station upor apnalok question ahe kuntu space station kunkhon country ase ba kuntu space station e kuntu mane kuntu mission launch korise. Okay, the NASA, it is also known as National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Holokra exam or enuka question is over. NASA stands for Mount Rakhibo National Aeronautics National Aeronautics and Space Administration. It is the civilian space agency of the United States established in 1958. Kuntu year established korisle 1958. Which of the following missions was jointly carried out by NASA and ISRO? NASA aru ISRO mili jointly kuntu mission korisle? Ami olof agote sai hislu niki nohoy ami belegda saislu. Yes, etia hoise apnar Chandrayaan 1, Nisar, Mangalyaan and Aditya L1 mission. Yare correct answer to hoise Nisar. Here question of the answer to us is so Nisar, NASA, ISRO, NASA, ISRO. Okay. So option B is the correct answer. NASA, ISRO synthetic aperture radar. Okay, बहुत important होय. Nisar, it is also known as NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar. It is a joint art observation. Joint art observation hoy etu. Okay. Kar mazot NASA aru ISRO mili ekelogote ei mission to mane upor kaam korise to study earthquakes, glacier, forest and climate change. So Nisar satellite ki koribo etia glaciers upor study koribo. After that deforestation hok lagile earthquakes jodi hoy ba eblakor upor Nisar satellite mane heri koribo. Nisare mane sabo. Okay, after that observe koribo and then Nisare even cloudy weather to paribo. Okay, consider the following statements regarding NASA. NASA was established in 1958. Its headquarters is located in Washington DC. NASA conducted the Apollo mission to the moon. Which of the statements given above are correct? Kunkita statements are correct korise khotai mon rakhibo correct na incorrect koise. NASA was established in 1958. Yes, correct. Ami olobagote sai hisilu. After that its headquarters is located in Washington DC. Yes, correct. Then NASA conducted the Apollo mission to the moon. Yes, it is correct. Gutei gita correct hoy. Option C is the correct answer. Khotai mon rakhibo apnaloke parile mane pause kori questions kini attempt koribo try koribo. NASA was established in 1958. Its headquarters is in Washington DC. NASA successfully conducted Apollo 11. That is the first moon landing mission in 1969. First moon mission jodi khuda jai Apollo 11. Okay. নাসা কেতিয়া এস্টাবলিশ কৰিছিলে বুলি ক'লে 1958 ত এস্টাবলিশ কৰিছিলে তাৰ হেডকোৱাৰ্টাৰ ক'ত আছে ৱাশ্বিংটন ডিসি এতিয়া আমি স্যাটেলাইটৰ ওপৰতে পাতি আহিছিলো ইমানখিনি ডিসকাস কৰিলো বাট আমি স্যাটেলাইটৰ ডেফিনেশন জানো নাই বহুতে স্যাটেলাইটৰ ডেফিনেশন নাজানে okay so for them what is a satellite an object that revolves around a planet a device used for communication on earth a rocket used to launch spacecraft then a telescope used to observe space option a to yare correct answer hobo satellite ki kore satellite revolve kore ji beta planetor around okay option a is the correct answer eto da object hoy to কোনো ডিভাইস নহয় কমিউনিকেট কৰিবলৈ ইউজ কৰিবলৈ আফটাৰ দ্যাট ৰকেটো নহয় এন্ড অলসো টেলিস্কোপো নহয় অবজাৰ্ভ কৰে তাতে বেলেগকে টেলিস্কোপ লগাই যিবোৰ মানে নেকি পিকচাৰছ এন্ড অল ডিটেইল পিকচাৰছ বা আৰ্টৰ ইমেজেছৰ কাৰণে ইউজ কৰে মিছন Then explanation hoise a satellite it is any object that revolves around a planet it can be natural or artificial natural satellite ki hoy natural satellite amar earth or natural satellite kuntu ase moon hoy okay and artificial satellite to hoy gol man made satellites jitu niki launch kore space ot which of the following is a natural satellite of the earth or natural satellite ami olobote size lo ki hoy ekdom easy question so questions like itu lo hitu connected ase thik ase option c is the correct answer moon explanation ase the moon is the only natural satellite of the earth orbiting the earth at an average distance of about okay then which of the following is an example of an artificial satellite ayete artificial satellite or example kuntu hoy hudise yete dito ase insect moon sun asteroid moon to ki hogol natural satellite hogol sun satellite no hoy okay after the asteroid no hoy tetale yare ki hobo correct answer to hobo insect is the artificial satellite mane human made man made okay man made satellite insect Indian national satellite system it is man-made satellite system launched by ISRO for what for communication weather forecasting and broadcasting ekhini purpose or karone insect to launch kora hoyse then the first artificial satellite launched into space was first artificial satellite jitu niki space ot launch korisile yare correct answer to ki hobo pare option samahok explorer 1 sputnik 1 then aryabhatta then luna 1 yare correct answer to hobo jitu niki first artificial satellite hoy space ot launch korisile hetu hoise sputnik 1 option b is the correct answer Sputnik 1 was the first artificial satellite in the world launched by the Soviet Union USSR on 4th October 1957. Then Explorer 1 to ki hogol first satellite of the United States launched by NASA in 1958. Aryabhatta hogol first satellite of India launched in 1975. Then Luna 1 hogol Soviet spacecraft launched in 1959. Also it is known as the first spacecraft to reach the vicinity of the moon. Very important however. A satellite that appears fixed over one period on the earth is called a satellite that appears fixed koise over one point at a point to the fixed thake on the earth is called what polar satellite navigation satellite low earth orbit or stationary satellite zero ke fix koise tete yare correct answer to ho jabo option d that is geostationary satellite okay then explanation of dia ase geostationary satellite it basically moves at the same speed as earth's rotation and stays above the same point so etu ki ho jabo earthor loge loge a satellite to move koribo okay earth jeneke rotate koribo সমানে rotate koribo and etu move hobo orbit koribo okay same point over the equator suppose yat ase so equator ekdom thik upor thaibo okay about 36,000 km above the earth so kenake ase tu thik ase geosynchronous orbit geostationary satellite geostationary orbit. Which of the following satellite is used for navigation in India? Cartosat, Navic, Reset, Gsat. Correct answer to was Navic. Okay. Navigation purpose karone India use kore satellite Navic. Navic, navigation with Indian constellation, is India's regional navigation satellite system developed by ISRO. Eto India ki hoy regional navigation satellite system hoy jeto neki ISRO develop korise for navigation purpose. Okay, what does the acronym NISAR stand for? Eta NISAR stand for what? Olopagale dekhislo NISAR upor. Okay, eto ki hoy NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar. NISAR stands for NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar. Option B is the correct answer. Explanation ase NISAR stands for NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar designed to study Earth's land and ice surfaces. Okay, then 20 question 2 hoise the primary objective of the NISAR satellite is to study. NISAR satellite primary objective ki hoy? Ki study koribo? Options dia goise deep space object, sun's corona, then changes in Earth's land and ice surfaces, communication signal. Ami olopagote saislu je etu NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar hoy, and yate ki kora goise NISAR ki koribo Earthor changes kini sabo, glaciers kini sabo. Okay, glaciers kini upor study koribo, then logote earthquake ebro upor NISAR observe koribo. Sunor corona upor sabole kon asile Aditya L1 mission. Okay, option C is the correct answer. Then explanation ase NISAR will observe earthquakes, landslides, glaciers, forest and climate change by measuring tiny changes in Earth's surface. Then NISAR satellite uses which technology for observation? Observation karone NISAR satellite kuntu technology use korise? Optical telescope, radio telescope, infrared telescope or synthetic aperture radar. Here question today ase NISAR a word today ase ki asle NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar. So synthetic aperture radar use korise, eto ta technology hoy. Okay, observation karone. Option D is the correct answer. NISAR uses synthetic aperture radar which allows to capture what images day and night and even in cloud thakilo ekini image capture koriboi paribo rati din kuno kotha nai. NISAR will help scientists study which of the following phenomena? Options dito agose solar flares, ocean tides, earthquakes and glacier movement, asteroids collision. Correct answer to ki ho pare te hole olobagote koislu yar basically main kam to hoise je glacier movement hok, earthquake hok, deforestation hok, eblakor upor observe korato. So option C is the correct answer. Okay, then satellite will what? Monitor tectonic movements, glaciers, forest and land deforestation with high precision. কারণ এনুকা জায়গাটো ক্যাপচার কৰিব পাৰিব যত নেকি ক্লাউডি থাকে, ওয়েদার কন্ডিশনৰ ওপৰত ম্যাটাৰ নকৰে, ডে এন্ড নাইটে হক লাগিলে observe কৰিবই. After that, Chandrayaan program is associated with the exploration of which celestial body? Mars, Sun, Venus, Moon. Chandrayaan আমি নিউজত পাই আহিছিলো চন্দ্ৰয়ানৰ ওপৰত. ওকে, এটো হৈছে অপশন ডি, that is moon. It is the correct answer. Chandrayaan program, it is India's lunar exploration program conducted by ISRO to study the moon. Okay, then for 24th question to sound, who was the first Indian to travel to space? Kun first Indian asle, kun first human asle, enekan questions ahiye thake. First Indian to travel to space was kun ho pare? Rakesh Sharma. Option B is the correct answer. Okay, first Indian to travel to space. After that, explanation as Rakesh Sharma became the first Indian astronaut in space in 1984. Okay, edu mission kune launch korisile ekhon spacecraft Soviet Union e. Then hogol Kalpana Chawla lost her life in which space mission? Kunu space mission at Kalpana Chawla nijo mane mrityu hoisile Kalpana Chawla. Option B, that is STS 107, that is Space Shuttle Columbia. Etu mission at teo mrityu hoisile. She was one of 7 crew members who died when the spacecraft disintegrated upon re-entering the Earth's atmosphere just 16 minutes before its scheduled landing. Okay. Then the first human to travel into space was Neil Armstrong, Alan Shepard, Yuri Gagarin, or John Glenn. আমি এবোৰ সৰুতে পাই আহো হয় একদম এবিলাক ইজি হয় এবোৰ আমি সৰুতে যেটা সায়েন্স পঢ়িছিলো তেতিয়া আমি এবোৰ পাইছিলো ওকে ইউৰি গাগৰিন তেওঁ ফাৰ্স্ট হিউম্যান আছিলে যোনে নেকি স্পেসত গৈছিলে after that Yuri Gagarin Soviet cosmonaut okay became the first human in space in 1961 April. Then 27 question to hoise the first person to walk on the moon. Kunjan first person asle jone moonot walk korisile Yuri Gagarin, Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong or Michael Collins. Here correct answer to hoise upon Neil Armstrong. Option C is the correct answer. Okay. Kun first person to walk on the moon buli kole Neil Armstrong. Horai mon rakhibo. Confused no hobo ekhinit. Neil Armstrong became the first person to walk on the moon during the Apollo 11 mission in 1969. Then 28 question pudise which planet is known as the red planet? Red planet kuntu koa jay? Option A dito ase Venus, then koise Jupiter, Mars, Mercury. Yare correct answer to hoise abo Mars. Option C is the correct answer. Okay, red planet kuntu koa jay? Mars. Green planet kuntu koa jay apnaloke comment section goi janabo try koribo. After that Mars appears reddish due to the presence of what? Iron oxide on its surface. Mars or surface or ki ase iron oxide ase hetu karone red appear hoy. Then which planet is known as the morning star or evening star? Morning star or evening star kuntu planet of koa jay? Venus, Mars, Mercury, Saturn. Here a correct answer to was above Venus. Option A is the correct answer. Venus of koa jay morning star and evening star boli. Venus is the brightest planet visible from Earth and appears in the sky just before sunrise or after sunset. Okay. Then consider the following statements about the moon. The moon has no atmosphere. The moon has its own light. Ami horde paisu class 3 manor pora ami paisu sage science jeta pohisu. The moon has its own light nohoy. The moon or nijor light nai. Okay. After that the moon reflects sunlight. Yes, it is correct. Moon or light to pai the sunlight or pora. Okay. Then hogol moon or nijor light nai. Option 2 to gole. Okay. Then option B is the correct answer 1 and 3. Moon on is your atmosphere 9. Okay. Option B is the correct answer. Explanation says statement 1 is correct, 2 is incorrect. Okay. After that 3 is correct. Okay, mane asile amar class 2 aji ending hoise. Apnaluke কি করব আপোনালোকে সদায় at the end of the session নিজকে টেস্ট কৰিব চাব কিমানটা কোৱেশ্চনস কাৰেক্ট হৈছে কিমান কোৱেশ্চন ইনকাৰেক্ট হৈছে এন্ড এখিনি বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট হয় কাৰণ আপোনালোকে যিমান কোৱেশ্চনস প্ৰেক্টিস কৰিব কিমানে আপোনালোকৰ বাবে ভাল হ'ব যিকোনো কম্পিটিটিভ এক্সামৰ কাৰণে এখিনি কোৱেশ্চন এনেকুৱা নহয় যে অকল অসমৰ কিবা দা এক্সামৰ কাৰণে মানে সুটেবল হয় এখিনি কোৱেশ্চনস আপোনাৰ সেন্ট্ৰেলৰ এক্সামে হওক লাগিলে এসএসসি এক্সামে হওক বা যিকোনো এক্সামত আপোনালোকে এইখিনি কোৱেশ্চনস প্ৰিপেয়াৰ কৰি যাব পাৰিব লগতে আপোনালোকে কমেন্ট সেকশনত গৈ জনাব আমি আৰু কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ কেনেকুৱা ক্লাস আপোনালোকে বিচাৰিছে কেনেকুৱা টপিকৰ ওপৰত ক্লাস বিচাৰিছে আমি তেনেকুৱা টপিকৰ ওপৰত আনিব চেষ্টা কৰিম থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ ডু সাবস্ক্ৰাইব টু आवर চেনেল বাই বাই টেক কেয়াৰ এন্ড অলৱেজ প্ৰেক্টিস